Mama Helen and you. Mama Helen and you. Mama Helen and you. Mama Helen and you. And you, all the way from Warri, Nigeria today. Wherever you are, whether you're in South Africa, you're in Ghana, you're in Cameroon, you're in Nigeria, you're in Lagos, anywhere at all, wherever you're watching right now, I want you to drop whatever it is that you're doing and let us have a quick chat together. Why? Because what we're going to be dwelling on today is very important to every human being on earth. Everyone wants to be able to bring forth the relationship between a man and a woman, especially when they're married, or to culminate into having a child, at least, bringing forth. So today we want to look at some of those things that seems to be an impediment to fruitfulness in marriage. In a little while, we'll be right back. But just in case if you have some questions, you might want to ask us at the end of this program. Do not hesitate to do so. Curses of infertility in marriage. Back in a moment on Mama Helen and you. Welcome back. This is still Mama Helen and you, all the way from Warri, Nigeria today. Well, someone ought to be excited because this is about talking regarding things that pertains to you. Because, see, when a man decides to marry a woman, apart from what I call relationship in terms of companionship and the like, you want a situation where the woman will be able to produce someone that looks like him or that looks like her. And when that doesn't seem to happen, so many things could take place. So on Mama Helen and you today, we're actually going to be dwelling on causes of infertility in marriage. And to do justice to that word, it is no other person on my first right, Mrs. Ese Pius Ohaire.
Ogogorie.
Ogogorie. It's a pleasure having you on this program.
The pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me.
And next to her, of course, is Dr. Gabriel Igberase.
Yeah, you're correct, man.
Good. At least I got that one right.
Yeah.
He's a consultant, gynecologist here, based here in Warri. Yeah. By the way, Mrs. Asa works with DBS.
Yes, a TV radio presenter.
And she's also a TV radio presenter, by the way. It's a pleasure having both of you here on this program.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Infertility, what does it mean, doctor?
Yeah, infertility, simply put, is the inability of a couple to achieve pregnancy after 1 year of satisfactory regular sexual intercourse. So it's a couple's challenge, not a woman's challenge, as it is seen in Nigeria.
I love that. Please, doctor, repeat that again.
It's a couple's challenge.
It's a couple's challenge, not
the woman's
challenge.
It's a couple's challenge. Like I normally tell patients that Amos territory says, can two work together except they agree?
So
and
true.
Bible says, one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000. And you would find out that infertility is becoming very common in Nigeria.
So true.
And one would wonder that the population of Nigeria is increasing. We say we have about 160, 170 million people in Nigeria. Yet we still have a lot of women with the burden of infertility. And the average Nigeria man or woman places premium on childbearing. And if, like when I had my first son, my mother told my wife that now your foundation is solid in our family.
It's rooted within.
Yeah, we've had situations where women are told, you're not a woman, you are a man, or you did this, or you did this.
Say, why is it that women seem to feel this most? Because you see, when there seems to be infertility in marriage, okay, a woman, most times they're the ones that visit different places for either for a checkup upper house to a prayer house for help.
Yes, indeed.
Why is it that it's very peculiar with the women folk?
Well, Mama, you know, it's heartwarming, you know, hearing the male doctor say that it's a problem of both the males and the females.
Yes.
Because in this part of the world, talking about Africa, then bringing it down to Nigeria, you find that women always feel the brunt of the whole thing. When infertility is occurring in a marriage, the whole family, relatives, neighbors, friends, even church members, they begin to heap the blame on the woman.
On the woman.
But they fail to realize that it's the man that gives the woman the product to
product.
produce.
Oh, come on, say it again.
All right, back to the women. You know, infertility is not something I would want to wish an enemy,
Yeah.
because it's something that it's better imagined than say it happens to you. Let me paint a scenario here for all of us to imagine. Now, a young lady gets married. Everyone comes for the wedding. Congratulatory messages are sent and all that.
Exactly.
And after some months, a year rolls
Nothing is
by,
happening.
nothing is happening. And maybe even a neighbor, not even a relative now.
Yes.
Iyawo, good morning, oh.
Maybe the day you eat pounded jam,
Yes.
the tummy seems to
You know,
shoot out a little.
yes.
Pregnant, pregnant.
Even before the mama, someone will say, Iyawo, good morning. Good morning, look at your stomach.
Yeah.
Good morning. As if that is where your
Yes,
face
the face is.
And innocent, you say, good morning, ma'am. How are you? You say, I'm fine. Are you sure you are really fine? You know, it's embarrassing.
Yes.
Because the woman is passing through a psychological trauma on her own.
The woman is passing through
Yes.
a psychological situation. Now, doctor, what are the causes then? You know, I mean, if we have fertility as a challenge, there must be some things, you know, that seems to bring it to fall.
Yeah, thank you very
what
much.
What are those things?
Thank you very much, ma'am. You heard when I said it's a couples challenge.
Yes.
You'll find out that previous scientific studies in the literature states that 30% of the cause is caused by the man, 30% is caused by the woman.
Say it again.
30% of the causes of infertility is from the man.
It's for the man.
Another 30% is from the
Comes
woman.
from the woman.
So another 30% is combined, both the man and the woman.
And the woman.
Then maybe 10% is unexplained. But we've done recent researches. I do researches also.
Okay.
I'm an associate professor of the university.
Are you?
And I discovered that men have more challenges than women, especially in these parts of the world.
When we're referring to some of these causes, it has to do with low sperm.
Yeah, I will list the causes.
Because,
you have male causes.
Okay.
You have female causes.
Okay.
We can classify infertility into primary and secondary. Primary, a woman who has never gotten pregnant. Secondary, a woman who has gotten pregnant before but unable to get pregnant, whether it ended up in abortion or ectopic pregnancy, pregnancy outside the womb. Now, when we talk about causes of infertility, you talk about the male causes, you talk about the female causes. For male causes, we have factors that would affect the testes, like injuries, like infections. You find out that infections like gonorrhea and chlamydia is common to both women and the men. So untreated sexually transmitted infection in the men can block their tubes, progressively can destroy their testicles. Some men are born like that. You know, some
unknowing to them,
yes,
that they've been damaged.
Yes, some have abnormalities in the structures. Sometimes the testicles don't descend, right? Then some of them, when they were young, maybe they did some surgeries and they tied the ducts where the sperm will be transported through. Some have hormonal problems. Some have problems in the brain, the hypothalamus, the pituitary, which supplies the hormones that will stimulate the testicles to produce testosterone and the sperm cells. You know, some sperms get produced, but they are blocked and they cannot come out. Some people have hormonal challenges. Some people work in, I've discovered that those who work in oil rigs and those hot environments are more prone to abnormal sperm parameters. Some people, and that leads to a low sperm count. When the sperm counts are very low, especially not just in quantity but in quality. Some people will have plenty of sperms. The sperms are not just moving at all. Some people have produces semen, but there's no sperm cell inside. The sperm cells are dead. Sometimes, maybe up to once in a week, I see men who have dead sperm cells. They don't have any single sperm cells at all. It's becoming very common. And I'm beginning to think that it's maybe associated with lifestyle challenges. Some people smoke a lot.
Before you get into the female aspect of causes of infertility,
Yes,
I would like to ask this question. I mean, well, they said it's a global village, but then we perceive things differently. Why is it that in Africa we tend to see this as something else? Because over there in the Western world, if you don't have a child, it's no problem. Some even decide before they get married to say, we do not want to have children, you know. And if one partner, possibly maybe the female now, decides to take it, it becomes a problem. Because there would have been an agreement. Some would even say in the next 10 years, we don't even want to smell that. But in Africa, it's totally different. Why?
Well, you've said it, you've answered that question partially. I'll just have to add a little to it.
Okay.
In Africa, we believe a lot in our culture and our tradition.
What is that culture?
It's a culture of replicating your kind. And you're not seen to be complete without having a young one to... Okay. For the men to carry on the heritage of your family. It seems that your family has lost their family name. It did not even exist.
The family name. She nails it. She nails it. And that's why you would say, even when a woman has about 10 females, I'm talking about girls now, the man says, excuse me, hello, you're here to have children.
Exactly. Even the family members, even the husband himself, we go outside, we start talking about polygamy, trying to get another wife that will be able to produce a male son. Because they see that son as the one that will carry out the family name to the end. Because for crying out loud, they will tell you, the female children will get married, change their surnames, you know. So if all the children are female, what happens to the Okoros, the Okafos, the Ogogories, you know, and all that. So that's the basic reason to carry on the family name. Yes.
To carry on the family name. I love that. All right. Now we know why it's so important to the African man to seeing that, you know, the woman is able to bring forth children. You've spent a lot of time, you know, going through causes of infertility in men. What about the women for?
I would say add some to the men.
To the men.
The
list are endless.
Marijuana,
Jehovah,
chronic smokers, narcotics, they will have low sperm count. Chronic alcoholics will have low sperm count. Those who have chronic illnesses, diabetes mellitus, there are some drugs also, antihypertensive drugs. They could also affect.
Food also induce this food, what you take?
Except food that have been infected with pesticides and some chemicals. Those who work in chemical companies, radiation companies, they can also be affected.
Okay.
They can also be affected.
Okay.
Right.
All right, on the female side.
Have
you exhausted the list on the male angle?
Yeah,
and I wouldn't mind if you take more time anyway.
Yeah.
Because most times we tend to hear more of the female side than the male. So men don't even know that they need to also take precautions, or there are things that they need to guard against in order to be effective as a father to be.
Yeah. We also advise men to wear cotton pants instead of rubber underwears. Because rubber underwears, they conserve heat. If you notice the way the male scrotum is dangling and it's not inside the body. So God is awesome. So he has created it that way so that the scrotal temperature is usually about 0.1 degrees centigrade, less than the body temperature. So there's a cooling system, right? That is why when you have testicles inside the body that did not descend down, it will die and can lead to cancer later on in life. That is why when you give birth to males and their testicles are not complete, you have to go report to the doctor. But for women, the same infection, the causes of infertility in women in Nigeria is a bit different from what you have in developed world. In Nigeria, you have a lot of infertility coming from previous abortion complications, unsafe abortion. I've gotten to, there was a lady, two ladies, I'll say, that got pregnant. And by the time I scanned them, I saw bones, speckles of bones in their womb from previous abortions. And one of the husbands was threatening, "You're going to leave my home." And she was emotionally distressed. But by the time I removed the bones, 2 women like that in this worry, they got pregnant. Now, those pregnancies would have gone far, advanced gestation, and they went to procure abortions from quacks and all the rest, and those bones remained. There are some that came with plenty of pus with bones, and they had to remove them. Now, abortion is illegal in Nigeria, but it's clandestinely done. A lot of people do that. In developed countries, like in America, abortion is legal. Yet, their abortion rate is far, far, far lower than in Nigeria. When they get pregnant, they deliver their babies and they carry on. But in Nigeria, they just go do abortions anyhow. And they always go meet quacks.
Before you go any further, why is it that a young lady takes in and resorts to terminating the pregnancy? Does it have to do with shame or what? Definitely, because she has done it illegally. You know, the normal thing is that you get married honorably, you get pregnant by your husband, you give birth to a child, and everyone is happy. But now you have done something that the society would frown out. Your parents will be ashamed of you. You become like an outcast. I know a young girl wants to be an outcast, you know, so they just decide to take that easy but difficult way out at the end of the day. No one wants to be an outcast, said by Ese. Won't you want to hear more about what we're talking about here? Infertility in marriage. In a little while, we'll be right back on Mama Helen and You. Don't go anywhere.
Stand amazed in your presence. Your grace is all that I see. I'm amazed of your presence. Mercy's like the sea. I'm in awe of you. I'm in awe of you, Lord. I'm in awe. God, we worship. God, we praise Him. God, we worship. God, we praise. God, we praise. God, we praise. Oh, I worship you because you are holy and righteous, beautiful Savior. Dusk to dawn, I will worship. Day and night, I will sing. Yeah, for you hold my world in your hands, and for this I will sing. Dusk to dawn, I will worship. Day and night, I will praise, for you hold my world in your hands, and for this I will sing. God be praised. God, I praise you. Lord, we worship you. God be praised. God, we worship.
Now, welcome back. That was awesome, incredible. Oh my God. That song was awesome. Anyway, kudos to you anyway. We're still on Mama Helen and You, and we've actually been dwelling on causes of infertility in marriage. And this, our guests have been incredible. I mean, a doctor and also a female broadcaster. Incredible, incredible. And before we drew the curtain a while ago, she was emphasizing on some of the things that young ladies do go through that leads to them, doing abortion, as it were. So do you want to shed a little bit more light into it? Because you see, what caught my interest is the aspect of you relating to what is obtainable there in the Western world. It isn't as if you don't see some of the young ladies who get involved into, sexual relationship before marriage and then culminating into pregnancy. But then they keep it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
They tend to keep it
Yes.
a little bit more. Oh, okay, it's a doctor
Oh,
that
yes,
can
yes,
take
yes.
Madam,
Yes,
who
they
said
keep
it?
it.
Mama,
I
just a
said it,
minute.
they keep
Okay.
it. Then even when it is done, they have legal abortion clinics, professionals,
where they
doctors,
go to
they do it
to
safely for them.
But why is it
Yes.
is it that our
Yes.
ladies shy away completely? Even if we have it legalized in Nigeria, okay, and we have some, specialists assigned to carry out this, you'll still notice that our ladies would like to do it, whilst because of what? I don't want to take it out from your
Well,
mouth.
you see, in the Western climes, as our doctor just enumerated,
Yeah.
everything is working for them. The health facilities are out of this world, and I think they even have healthcare insurance and all that.
So true.
So they can do everything well. But, well, unfortunately, it's not so back here at home.
Yes.
So they have no choice. After dabbling in illicit sex and all that, they have to go to quacks. They don't have the courage, they don't have the financial wherewithal to visit appropriate places and get proper medical care. So at the end of the day, they indulge themselves in illegal abortion. Again, still talking about the Western climes. If they go ahead and have those children, the government is there to take care of these children for them. They have welfare schemes, they have everything for them. You just give birth to the child, and that child is already a government child. They're already paying the child some stipend or something. But here, it's not the same thing. So, if a young lady gets a child out of wedlock,
Yes. It's a taboo. It's an outright taboo. No parents pray for that. As a matter of fact, you go on a 30 days fasting just to ensure that your ladies are kept, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you do not want, you don't want someone to say, oh my God, is she married? Hello?
No, there's this stigma, there's this stigmatization attached to it.
So true.
Yes.
So true. All right. Leaving that to going back to
The causes of infertility.
of
Yeah,
infertility.
I was talking about unsafe abortion. It destroys the womb. It destroys the neck of the womb. I've been dealing with women for so many years now. I've practiced medicine for 27 years. And I've discovered that the womb of Nigerian women, most of them are scarred. That is why from abortions, and that is why they find it difficult to get pregnant. The cervixes also are destroyed. That is the truth. Due to abortion, unsafe abortion. Then you also have sexually transmitted infections like chlamydia and gonorrhea. It also affects them. So any woman
what
who has...
about fibroid?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
I am going to classify them into ovarian, fallopian tube, uterine factors, vaginal factors, and all those. But I'm more interested in the harmful cultural practices that we practice here in Nigeria, in this part of the world, in Nigeria Delta.
Okay.
Before I go into that, I've also found women here who, they don't even have fibroids. They are told, oh, you have fibroids. Instead of seeing the expert, they go put concussions in their vagina. I've seen some women, the concussions have closed the vagina, scarred it totally.
Oh my God.
And maybe they don't even have fibroids and they cannot get pregnant.
Oh,
God. I know a young lady in this worry who went from college of education. They told her she had fibroids. She didn't have fibroids. She went to Iye de Isoko. And by the time she came, her vagina was totally scarred and she was leaking urine. The chemical burnt the vagina, burnt the bladder.
Oh my
so
God,
by the time everything was repaired, she stopped leaking urine. There was no tissue enough to really open the vagina well. So the vaginal capacity left was just like this. So how would you expect such a woman to have a baby? So and she's educated, and I found out that in this society, education does not even matter. The ignorance is actually suffocating. That is the truth, So we have to look at our head-seeking behavior. The world is a global village. Instead of saying, oh, my mother-in-law said this, my friend said this, you go to the internet and browse yourself and get full knowledge. They say if you want to hide information from the black man, write it in the book.
In the book.
We don't like reading, we don't like, But if you want to classify it, you look at the ovaries, you could have ovarian challenges, like polycystic ovaries, they don't ovulate well. You could have fallopian tubes challenges, unsafe abortions also, pelvic inflammatory diseases, sexually transmitted infection. I talked about chlamydia, Neisseria gonorrhea infection. They can block the tubes. Infection from improperly done abortion can block the tubes. So you have bilateral tuber blockage. When you have both tubes blocked, the only solution is in vitro fertilization, IVF. Let me quickly go to the uterine aspect.
Okay.
The womb. The womb itself, from excessive D&C, can get scarred and gets
or reduced.
Gets reduced in capacity or gummed together, and the woman will not be menstruating again, or we have reduced menses. You could also have fibroids inside the womb. Those are easy. You can.
What
easily,
about menopause?
Menopause, interestingly, menopause can be solved. In this worry, I've done IVF for a 50-something-year-old woman, and she got pregnant, 40-something. So menopause is not an issue anymore, you know, so long as the woman can, the couple can afford.
Well treated.
Is well treated. I mean, the cost is treated.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
All right, that she's married, she gets pregnant, and then loses it along the line. Why?
Yeah, there are different causes for that also, and that is called miscarriage. You find out that God is an awesome God. The majority of the causes of miscarriages is due to abnormalities. Sometimes not every pregnancy is normal. Most of them are due to chromosomal abnormalities, some form of congenital abnormalities. So instead of the pregnancy continuing, nature will just get rid of it. Most of the time, the first 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and all the rest, you know. But you also have some other causes. Maybe you have fibroids inside the womb coexisting with the pregnancy. It would also lead to miscarriage. Sometimes you could have from different, too many abortions, you know. There are tablets these days. You just take the tablets and everything comes out. These days, it's criminal for somebody to go and be poking the cervix. By the time you do that, you destroy the anatomy, the cervical architecture, collagen architecture of the cervix. It becomes weak subsequently. When the pregnancy is getting to 16 weeks, 20 weeks, the neck of the womb is no more strong. The neck of the womb is no more strong to hold it. We call it cervical incompetence, and the pregnancy comes out. Then there are a lot of causes. Diabetes mellitus. A woman has diabetes, she's not treating it properly, you can have miscarriage. Or she has severe preeclampsia, or other congenital abnormalities associated with plenty of fluids in the tummy. Or if a woman is carrying twins or triplets or higher order multiples, because of what we call distension theory, the tummy is so big, and normally by gravity, the pregnancy is supposed to come down. So the pressure and all the rest would gradually make the womb to give way. Then infections also. Infections, even in the pregnancy, can lead to miscarriages, malaria, urinary tract infection, HIV,
the list are endless. Okay, we've listened, you know, I mean, and you've so articulately, you know, expressed causes of infertility in the scientific way. But we also know that we live in this world, and there are other factors. Just like I said a while ago, 30% in female, and so in male, and then together 30, and then you have this 10% that looks very mysterious. That needs to be found. Could you please tell us, what do you think about that?
Well, Mama, personally, I want to say that this world is spiritual. We're living in a spiritual world. So no matter all the, yes, I believe in medicine. I know that all that doctor has said here is very correct.
Is it possible?
It's
for
possible.
Someone to say, well, now you two are married, and I want to make sure that you're not happy, because I know what is going to make you happy will mean you having children.
Oh, it's very possible in this part of the world, as it were. Africa, Nigeria, South, it's very possible.
It's very possible.
Yes, indeed.
All right, we'll be right back, but before we go, she had just said it is possible. Perhaps I'm going to ask the doctor as well, if indeed, most times doctors, when they can't explain something, they explain it out anyway. But we will know whether she would also do justice to that. On Mama Helen and you, infertility in marriage. Back in a little while.
And, you know, during the course of medical tests and all that, I was diagnosed as having hormonal imbalance. But let me summarize the story. In the middle of that hormonal imbalance theory, I conceived. Now the question is, what happened? It could only be the handiwork of God.
Yeah, that's the truth. I was believing God for it. One, I had, I took in, I think, in my 8 years of marriage. Today, to the glory of God, we have a truth.
Amen.
Mama Helen and Jude